I'm just making a full screen now. Okay. So yesterday, with a simple glance, will what we have started in the last session. Will single glance will have the discussion, and then today's topic will be covered. Now, yesterday we have started with search engine optimization, friendly content writing. So whenever we are working on the content writer for search engine optimization, we have to understand first the search engine ranking factors. Okay, and how what all factors are there, on what parameters the search engine optimization can be ranked. Your pages can be ranked, that is on quality, the research, the keywords, uh, your freshness of the pages, that is the timely updations and the multimedias you are using, the answers, and the depth of your content pages. So that is basically what you call as the for as a content writer of search engine optimization, and putting a paper on page on your ranking the topmost, you have to manage these things very precisely. Now we have also gone about the use of the keywords also. So as we have talked about, whenever we are talking working with the keywords into your search engine optimization, this will help you to put your paper, that is your pages, in a search engine optimization. So keyword, if it is not there, it will be a dead page on a search engine optimization. So better be go for implementing the right keywords at your right pages. Third, we have talked about the identity and capture search intent. So we have to be very conscious about the keywords which we are using. The primary intentions behind your pages will be search. So the pages, the websites, you should be very much familiar with the website. You have to do something, that is what to do with the website. Then these are the basic four keywords, what we call as four things we need to intend whenever we are working with the search engine optimization, and as far as the search intention is concerned. So we should know the information of the page, we should do the search, what the people are searching, or what maybe they be searching on the web pages, the websites, and we need to go for thinking about the visitors point of view also in the third number category. And fourth one is optimizing the content. So the this one is most important, because your search engine will be very precise as far as the optimization. So the feature that is used is called as the snippets. Okay, so snippets is nothing but SERP features. Basically we call it SERP stands for, I think so yesterday we have gone into detail about the SERP and how it is been implemented in basic ways. Okay, so that can increase up to 12.3% of your targeted audience just by implementing the SERP analysis. Okay, then we have talked about yesterday in the updating the old content. So this is the most an important part you have to do, that you have to go for updating the older content also and the newer content also. The more you update, the more it will be crawling, and if it is crawled, it will be indexed, and if it is indexed, it will be at the top ranking of the pages. So this is again most important as far as the search engine optimization is concerned. Then we have talked about the sky crept method. Sky crept method, we yesterday we have talked about, it should be, the pages should be at the top level. So if we zoom it from the upper position, the pages out of 50 pages, your top 5 pages, it should be at the top searching ranking also. So this can be done with the sky creeper methods also. And in we have also talked about yesterday on a sixth point, that is prioritizing the inbound and outbound links. So if you have a link, so inbound link should be preferable, and it should be prioritized rather than outbound links whenever we are working with the search engine optimization. Is it clear to everybody? Yesterday we have landed up at with the last point, that is the structure of your websites or the technology search engine optimization, and what all best practices you can do for making your site structure efficient. So was it is it clear to up till this point as far as the second section of this chapter is concerned? Okay, now today we'll be creating a robots text file. Robots text file, this is the text file, actually it is present with the robots, this is the name of the file, and the extension is txt. Now if you use this site hosting server, such as Wix or Blogger, or people are using any other search engine that is hosting server services for the purpose of hosting your websites, in those scenario you might not need to be that much conscious, because these are the two websites, that is Wix or Blogger. This will be doing a task of robot.txt file. but you have uploaded a website on GoDaddy or some other hosting servers, then in those situations you have to think something differently. And what you have to do is that you have to provide the your provider, that is your GoDaddy. Suppose we are considering that GoDaddy.com, so that is hosting your websites, might expose search setting pages or some other mechanism to tell search engine whether or not to crawl your pages. So based on the hosting servers, the crawling will be done of your pages. So people are paying extra amount to the hosting servers for putting your websites at the top ranking. But if it is not there, if these people, that is Wix or your blogger, if don't put your website your keywords into the search engine, or don't do that one, in those situations it is, you have to manage that show in a very systematic way. If you want to hide your page, you can do this. If you want to expose your page for the purpose of ranking it, you have to tell those service provider to what to do. They will be doing this into your robots.txt file. So this is a text file which is available on your hosting servers rather than on your personal web pages. In personal web pages, we can use the HTML tags and all those things, that 8 9 techniques we have learned. These all techniques we have implemented on personal web pages. But as far as the host service provider is concerned, these people will be working on robots text. So if you want to hide or unhide one or your pages from search engine, search for the instruction above below. Okay, so you can go for this type of modification. Suppose that if you, for example, if search for Wix hidden pages on search engine, you will never get in the Wix hidden pages because it will be not visible to anybody. Okay, so you can control your file crawling also by helping or by boosting the robot.txt file, and you are asking your service provider to add some keywords, into your file so that it will be visible. Now by default, whenever you are hosting a website, you will be given some file that like this. This is the robot.txt file where you can upload or you can add some keywords that will be visible, and based on that your pages will be put it in the topmost situation. So robot.txt file is the txt file being provided by the service provider, and you can use this file for hiding and showing the content or the page or to the search engine, so that it will be indexed and it will be utilized for the ranking purpose. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
for example, here this is robot.txt file means इसका मतलब क्या है? The user agent from Google bot is not allowed to crawl any URL that starts with like example, that is example.com, and no Google bot. Your crawler of Google boot will never ever search for the pages which is been header or which is been titled with this type of no go blogger dot bot. So if it is there, the keyword is like this page will never come into your search engine. So okay, all the user agents allow the crawler for the enter set, it could be been omitted and the result could be same. Okay, now the third one is that the site files is located on the example like this. For example, this is the host. Okay, so here I have used something like this one. I have shared within last semester, that is I have uploaded one website, that is ibmrd.nomeo.com. Okay, now if you go for this type of websites, because this is my personal page. Okay, one second, it is ibmrd.com. You go on this website for searching, it will never show anything. You will never get a result also. One second, you will never get the result because I have hosted this website under the glomio.com. So this is my service provider, and I have created this website personally for myself. Okay, so just I have logging into the system, and you will find this website is not visible on a portal. You will never see this website on search engine because I have hosted under the gnomio.com, and this website is not visible to any. If it is if you are searching it, it will not be visible uh, for anybody, because I want to make this website accessible to my students only. Okay, so students who are working, students who want to access my content on live, okay, online, on a portal, but I am very precise about the students only. I am not want to make it generalized. In those situations, this type of websites will be helpful for them. Okay, so hosting of website is not just for the purpose of people to get accessible. It can be a concentrated or centralized audience. I want to fetch their attention towards these websites. Okay, so this technique is basically done with this type of service provider. Gnomio is one of the service provider. I have told you that this is one of the service provider, but this service provider will help us to host my website. So the site map is in this format only. So you will find everywhere there is gnomio.com, and this will be if I'm using this URL, these people will be accessing this URL. But this Gnomio will not allow my page to be get read by the your Google bot to get into searching what is exactly the engine, what is actually the multi-threading examples I have written. This will never ever come into the search engine henceforth. कभी भी नहीं आ सकता है ये, because this has been restricted by the service provider with the help of robot.txt file. So okay, so are you clear with this robot.txt file? You and your service host provider will be deciding whether to crawl this website or not to crawl, index this website or not to index this website. So this is basically, if we are saying no Google bot, so the pages will be not be accessible by default. My gnomio.com is not accessible. It is by default a no Google bot, so that's why it is not in a search engine henceforth. Okay, now guidelines for creating a Google bot text file. So you can create a Google bot files that we have specified over here in this example, that you can create your Google bot files for personally for your pages with the extension called a txt. Now how to create a file name, how to rule this will be discussing here. So how to create this robot.txt file? So you can use already any text editor to create this file, as just like a, because it is been extension of text file, you can write into using the help of notepad or a text editor or vi or emacs. So you can use this type of any editor. Notepad plus plus can be also be used for creating the robot.txt files. Okay, now don't use a word processor just like document like this is I have this is the word document. Okay, so this type of documents are not being used, but the extension is docx. Okay, so whenever we save this file, you will see this, the presentation which I am doing, this is on document file. So word document files cannot be used, this you have to keep in mind, because word processor often saves the file in proprietary format, because here I am using documents, that is Microsoft, so the extension will be docx or doc file. So this type of features are not applicable because these are not been used by the search engines. So you don't ever go for the word processor files. There are different word processor. We are using Microsoft. Some are the open sources are also available. That is free office or open office. The service provider are also there, so you can have a word document with the open office also, but it is not eligible to use this type of softwares for writing the robot.txt file. Okay, the file is proprietary, as we have said, that is we are working on Microsoft, that's why the proprietary is Microsoft, so that is not acceptable. And you can add unexpected characters such as curly quotes, which can cause a problem. So double quote meaning in a Word document is somewhat different. If I put double quote over here, this has been treated something differently, rather than when I go for the notepad or notepad plus plus, this will not identify what exactly this is, what is the meaning of this double quote over here. So it is very difficult for whenever you are working with double quotes or a comma symbols or at the rate symbols, the meaning in the doc file is something different, but whenever we move to the text editors like this notepad, the meaning is different, you will generate an error. So it is not beneficial to use this one. So the proprietary formats can add unexpected characters and such curly codes, for example they have given, which may cause a problem for crawling, so the search engine cannot search it. So you have to be sure whenever you are saving it, and you have to save this file with UTF-8. What is UTF? Anyone can tell me what is UTF? What is UTF? Can anyone tell me what is UTF? Can anyone tell me what is UTF? What is the full form of UTF? Yes. Yes, can anyone tell me?
Utilizing text file.
Uniform?
No, utilizing text file.
Utilizing text file? Not, no, no. It is uniform transfer format, UTF-8, UTF-16. So, whenever you are writing something like this into a Word file or a document file, it will be treated as a UTF-8. This is universe. What is the meaning of C? It should be universal. What is the meaning of A? It is ASCII. But when it comes to the programming language, either whenever it comes on the server, it is very difficult. If I'm using any Chinese language, it is not in UTF, it is in UTF-16. Okay, but if I'm using a plain English language, it is always converted into UTF-8. So this is UTF encoding. This is called as encoding, and it is promoted, basically it is promoted whenever we are creating these files. Okay, so whenever you are working, you have to be very conscious about creating the robot.txt file, because you have to follow the UTF-8 format, and it should be a plain text editor that will be doing your operations of writing the file. Is it clear to you? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Yes or no? Shankar?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. फॉर्मेट एंड लोकेशन कहाँ पर ये फाइल एक्चुअली लोकेट होती है, अगर हमने पर्सनल इसमें कुछ अपडेट करना चाहते हैं, द फाइल नेम विल बी ओनली दिस वन ओनली. यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इट विल नॉट बी रोबोट्स वन माई रोबोट्स, नो, इट विल बी रोबोट्स because it's a bot file. Okay, robots dot txt. Your site can have only one robot, because this is individually for one site there will be only one robot file. Okay, only one you can create, no multiple files. Now robot.txt file must be located at the root of your website. So wherever you are hosting it, it should be at the root. For example, for instance, the crawler us, just like this is example of your website. So the first file will be like this one. So the URL will be like this: www.xyz, whatever the website you are having .com slash, this will be at the root folder. So this will be the first page, but it will not be visible to anybody, but it will be there. Okay, so it cannot be placed in subdirectories. So as we know that whenever we are moving to a project, we create a separate folder for source code, a separate folder for images, separate folder for anything extended file uploaded. So it is not acceptable. Don't go for this type of way. This is not allowed. So if in your project, if you have created a separate folder for pages, and into that you are putting the txt file, it will not be acceptable. It will not be acceptable. It will be only acceptable, you have to use this URL and directly the file, then only it will be acceptable, otherwise this will not be acceptable. Okay, okay, are you clear with this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you are unsure about how to access your website root, you need permissions, then only it will be allowed. So this permission is actually maintained by the your service provider, so you have to take the permission and then only put this file into your root folder, otherwise it will not be allowed. Okay, because it is being blocked by the service provider, because people may go for changing, or people may put this URL, copy the URL and put it into the browser, and they can get all the details what is written into the text file. So this file is always hidden from the users. You ever search for this one, this will not be visible, because this people has blocked it. The service provider is always blocking these pages, so it will not be visible, because you can copy the keywords and you can paste it into your own website, and automatically you will be fetching the people concentration towards website. So this type may create a malpractices, so it is not acceptable to open this file at any sense. So it is not visible to anybody. Now next point is that robot.txt file can apply to subdomains also. Subdomains mean matlab kya? If I am having an IBM ID, I may be having an IBM ID separate library. I can have a separate that is called an examination portal for online examination for my institute. So this is called a sub portal. So robot can be applicable to all your subfolders by very simple websites dot examples and just put it over here. So this is acceptable. Or for example, you can put like this: this is my subdomain. At this host, it will be opening the file. You can put this robot.txt file. So it is also acceptable. Next point, a robot.txt file must be an only UTF encoded file only. You have to keep in mind it should be only in UTF-8 encoded text file only, which includes ASCII formats. मतलब हर एक characters को वो ASCII में convert करता है. G, what is the ASCII value of G? That can only be encoded with the help of UTF-8. Okay, so that's why we are using UTF-8 format only. So Google may ignore the characters that are not in the part of UTF. Agar if it is not in the UTF format, then this keyword or this character will not be acceptable for the purpose of crawling. So are you clear with this one? So that's why we go for UTF, because that is supporting the ASCII. What is full form of ASCII? What is the full form of ASCII then?
American Standard Code for Information.
Information what? Interchange. American Standard Code for Information Interchange, because we are information is interchange with different people all over the world. So this is the only unique format, that is UTF-8. That's why it is this coding is acceptable, because ASCII is supporting 100% this UTF formats. So it should be in this format only. Okay. Now rules to be added to the robot.txt file. Rules and instructions for crawlers about which part of your site they can crawl. Following are the guidelines. The first guideline is the robot.txt file consists of one or more groups. Second, each group consists of multiple rules or description. One description, one directive per line. One directive मतलब क्या, you will be using some tags over there, that will be a direction for the single line. Each group begins with the user agent. Who is the user? Okay, so user agent, this type of instruction will be maintained. Now next point is a group gives the following information: who the group applies to, that is the user agent, and who is the actual user of this website. Second one, which direction the file or file agent can access, and which file they cannot access. You have to specify it over here in the robot. Crawler automatic will be process grouping into lot to top to bottom automatically, and the user agent can match only one rule set, which is the first. The most specific group that matches will give the user agents. So the default assumption is that the user agent can crawl any page or any directory not blocked by the disallow rule. So if you have made it open, then the crawler will search for any page or any folder unless and until it is been blocked by the rule, otherwise it will be crawling. Next rule as a case sensitivity. This is the most important, case sensitivity. For instance, if you are using file.asp extension, then but if you are using like this file.txt, then this is type sensitive. It will not go for hitting the page. If you have written that file.asp into your robot.txt file, then it will be opening only searching for the file with this extension. But if it is you have given the name with uppercase, it will be not allowed. This is not acceptable because it is case sensitive. Whatever you write into the robot.txt file, it is case sensitive. Next point is that hashtag characters mark as the beginning of the comment. So hashtag you are using over here in this robot files, and this should be the first character. This should be the first character, and then only it will be considered as a search engine optimization for the purpose of crawling. Are you clear with this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll talk about the directives. What we have talked about the directives or files. So Google crawlers support the following directives. Okay, so we need to think about the Google crawler, then only we can talk about the optimization. The directives which are used in robot.txt file, that is user agent. This is the thing which is used frequently. Now it can have one or more groups, that is website can have one user or multiple users. So on that parameter you can have one group or you can have a more group. Now the directive specifies the name of the automatic client known as search engine crawler that the rule applies to it. It is the first line of the rule group. So whenever you are writing group, this should be the first line, that is a user agent. Google user agent, namely like in this Google list is using asterisk symbols. So asterisk symbol you will be finding into user agent will be matching all the crawlers except the various ad bots crawlers. If you are having add into it, that will not be considered. Okay, for example, this is the first example one. So block my Google bot. So user agent is Google bot and disallow it. So this will not be allowing my pages to access. If for example, if I am writing this block Google bot and ad bot, both I want to block. So in those situation, user agent मतलब कौन से bot को allow नहीं करना, it is Google bot. This will not be searching for anything because we have said it disallow, and the user agent will be adbots.google. So you can use single user agent also, and you can use multiple user agent also. So you have known that Google bot will be searching for the pages and ad bots will be searching for the advertisements on your pages. So this is for the advertisement and this is for your text content on your pages. Okay, and you can add multiple users as and when required. Okay, disallow means what? Not allowing the user to be acceptable. Now third example of into the bot is very simple. Block all but bot scroller. Okay, so I want to allow block all of the people. So user agent star means what? All users. So there are two users, that might be three user or four user. If I want to apply this to all, it should be star. I don't want to allow it, so it should be disallow. Okay, so disallow at least one or more disallows and allow enters the rules. So this is you have to keep in mind. So disallow means what? Not allowing the advertisement also and not allowing the Google bot also to accessible. So these are the agents, and these agents can be represented, multiple group of agents can be represented with the star symbol, which is just like select star from your table name, just like it. The star means what? All. So are you clear with this one? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now if you want to allow something, so allow is used. For disallow, this is disallow. For allow, it should be allow. Okay. So at least one, so the directive of the page related to the root domain that may be crawled by the user agent just mentioned. So it is used to override the disallow directive to the allowing crawling of the subordinate directories and the pages. Okay, so if you use go for allow, it will be allowing the pages to be get crawled. Then the site map, it is optional, it is not compulsory, it is optional. You can give from 0 or 1 or more file also. Okay, now for example, if I am this like this http and https, so sitemap will be helping us. Either people while me searching for http, or they may go for the security features. If you are implementing a security on your browser, need to be open your website onto https also. So this is optional, you can use it, and you can allow the people to access your website on simple http protocol also, on and on a secured http protocol also. So that is called as a sitemaps. Are you clear with this one? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now simple example I will be giving you in the, as far as the sitemap is concerned. If I am putting this website on this, on a secured this is S means for secured http protocol. So this website will be like this, no www will be there, it will the name of the website and the sitemap in the XML. And if I am using the site like this, simple http, it will be www.example.com. This one. Okay, now you just see my website. Now see here, this is secured one. Now see, it is secured S. Is it visible to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see, this is https. You will never find it is something like this www dot, because this is not acceptable. If I am putting like this, it will again ping me. Now see, this is not allowed. This is not allowed in https. In whenever you are searching anything on https, www cannot be used. So okay, so I'm just putting this, automatically it will be, because this is advanced feature, so it is like this. Now if I go for this one, because I have uploaded my website on a secure portal, if I want to access this one, so I have to go for advanced, and into this one it I have restricted the user, so this will not be allowed. So www will not be acceptable if we are working with the secure server. This I want to specify, and same thing is happening over here. This example, we are using http, so it will be visible on this one if the site I have allowed it. And if it is making a secured, you will never find http with followed with www. So are you clear with this one? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now you can upload the robots file. Once you save this robot file at your computer, you are ready to use it, available to the search engine crawling. Okay, there is no one tool that can help you with this one. So there is no tool to boost you. Okay, so because how you upload the robot.txt file to your site depends upon your site and site architecture. So this file usability is basically only depend upon your site and your site architecture. If your architecture support, then only it will be supported. So the next point is that is a test how this is working. So you can test it. uh, Newly uploaded robot.txt file, if you have uploaded on your server, open a private browsing window on your browser and navigate to this one. So okay, you can boot like this the URL, and you will get this information into your browser. Okay, so the robot.txt tester is one of the search console that can be used for the purpose of testing also. You can go for testing whether it has been working or not. And uh, last one I will be talking about the submit robot.txt file to the Google. So how to submit it to Google? Once you have uploaded and tested your robot.txt file, then what you have to do is that a Google crawler will automatically find and start finding your robot.txt file. So you don't need to send something special request to the Google crawler that we have uploaded the .txt file, robot.txt file, and you just access it. There is no need for you to give the information to the Google, because Google internally can understand what is there in this robot.txt file that will be accessible. So you don't have to do anything. You just upload the txt file and that will be accessible and used by the Google. So okay, so are you clear with this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then the useful robot.txt rules that you have to understand. The first one, disallow crawling for the website enter. You can disallow the crawling, okay, by using this keyword like this one. This is example I have given, that is a user agent, all user agent, and you don't want to use this for the crawling, you can do this one. Second, disallow crawling for a directory or any folder you don't want the people to access it. Very simple, all the users डिसअलाउ कौन सा, ये फोल्डर, कैलेंडर फोल्डर में जो भी प्रोजेक्ट मेरा लिखा है, जंप फोल्डर के अंदर जो भी है, बुक के अंदर कंटेम्प्रेरी यानी ये पाथ के अंदर जो भी होगा, आई डोंट वांट दिस पीपल टू एक्सेस इट, दैट इज आई कैन स्टॉप द पीपल फॉर एक्सेसिंग द फोल्डर ऑल्सो. Okay, third one, allowing user to a single crawler, only single crawler, only एक ही लोगों ने उसको ऐड करना, only Google bot news should use this one. So I can say that Google bot news and it will be allowed, and user agent rest users will not be allowed. यानी Google bot के बाद Google ads वाला कोई होगा तो वो उसका crawler will not access it, because I have restricted all this user. This is overriding. Okay, but I want these people, that is Google bot news, to access my pages, so this will be allowed. So this is what we call as this user will be allowed, and this user will not be allowed, the rest of the users will not be allowed, because this is the second line I have put it. So you can restrict the user from crawling a specific set of crawlers only, rest will not be allowed. Next one, allow user to all, one second. Okay, so but a single crawler. Okay, next one, allow you access to all but the single user. सबको allow करना है access to all but a single crawler. Okay, so here the user agent is unnecessary bot, you can disallow it, and you can allow unnecessary, you can allow the remaining parts. So you can allow access to all but a single crawler. Okay, so if you don't want this person to be accessible, you can say that person name and you just disallow it, and your remaining will be accessing it. So this disallow will be accessing a specific bot, whereas the remaining will be accessible and it will be accessing your pages as and when required. Next one, disallow crawling of a single web page. एक ही पेज आपको crawling में डालना है. So user agent disallow this one. So एक पेज, the single page cannot be crawled. This page will not be crawled. एक पेज को भी आप लोगों से रुका सकते हैं. नाउ in some situation you don't want a specific images to be get visible on a Google. In those situation you can say disallow a specific folder into this, there is a specific file you don't want to allow this search file to be get searched on the Google. You can do this also, a jpg file. देन ब्लॉक ऑल इमेजेस, सभी इमेजेस अगर मुझे अलाउ नहीं करने स्क्रॉलिंग के लिए यानी सर्च के लिए, आई कैन यूज यूजर एजेंट गूगल बॉट images and disallow. My images on the website will not be searched at any situation. Okay, if you don't want to allow the user to access your gif files, then you can say user agent disallow .gif files. So all files with the help of extension, अभी मैं इसको देखो, इसको मैं दिखाता हूँ star dot gif मतलब क्या, all files with gif extension will not be allowed. Next one, disallow crawling of the entire site but allow media print Google. Okay, so this is media printer Google should be allowed, rest all should not be allowed. So this will not be allowed, but only one agent will be allowed, that is a media partner Google, that will be allowed. So this is also possible. And last one, use on match URLs. So Google bot can disallow the matching URLs also. So are you clear with this one, the robot.txt
Yes, sir.
file? Yes, today we have
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes.
today we have only talked
Yes,
about
sir.
the robot.txt file. We have gone into detail about who is actually creating this Google dot. It can be a separate provider, your hosting provider, or you can personally you can create this file. Then we have talked about where exactly it is located on the base folder. And third, we have talked about the how to create those file. We have gone into detail about how to create those file. Then we have gone about details about what all rules you can apply to this on your robot files. Then then we have talked about the crawling multiple users, how to make it accessible to the multiple user or disallowing the multiple user using star and all those things, allow and disallow. We have gone through the different examples also in this examples today. We have also gone about the HTTP and HTTPS, how it can be used. Then we have finally we have gone about how it can be uploaded. Then we have also talked about the markups. Okay, so how it has been tested. And then finally we have discussed about how you can submit it to the Google for the purpose of crawling. And finally we have gone into the different rules and with examples that how we can implement it as and when required for the purpose of crawling. So I think this is more than enough for the day. Today we have completed with the robot.txt. Some question may be asked about this robot.txt. I think this is the overall definition, and it will be very much feasible for you to read and to know what exactly it is in the future also. Okay, so crawling can be done from your side also by putting this hashtag. Basically in digital marketing what we do is that we use hashtag with the description of the pages, what Dhanasri has told in the last session, that hashtag is for the purpose of searching. Same way, whenever we want to do something into the search engine optimization, we have to write something into the robot files. This is the only file that will be helping us to give an hashtag for the searching and for the creating or for the crawling the files on the Google. That's it. If you have any doubts you can speak with me. No doubts? Okay, no doubts.
No, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow my lecture will not be there. I'm expecting that you should go through the content what we have gone through this chapter. This is most important chapter as far as the syllabus of this examination is concerned. Tomorrow my lecture will not be there. Utilize the next time. I will be sharing some videos for creating the web pages immediately on your what we call as WhatsApp group. Go through this video for one practical demonstration and go for implementing the your pages, the assignment which I have already shared with you regarding the digital marketing. You go through that and you create your pages just like Dhanasri what she has done in last week. You based on that you create your pages and try to implement as much as you can as far as the marketing of digitalization using social media is concerned. Okay, no doubts for the day. Shall we stop for the day now?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll meet on Monday, and Monday day we will be covering the remaining parts of the search engine optimization with in a very precise way. Okay, so till then, take care and have a good day.
Thank you, sir.